frustrating can it be when you're all set to watch a movie or a TV show on your streaming service, but end up having to sit through a few unskippable ads? Well, recently, StarHub TV Plus users took to social media to complain about being forced to watch TV commercials when browsing within the platform that they paid for.
Okay, well, the days of streaming entertainment with no interruptions, could those be over? Because we've heard about international streamers like Disney and Netflix saying that they too are launching ad-free versus those that have ads. You would pay less for subscription for those that have ads, obviously. And then even if you're like just streaming around on YouTube, let's say.
You gotta watch these commercials.
You gotta watch those commercials.
Yeah, you can't skip them at all.
Is it me or are they getting longer? They're getting longer to me, no?
Yeah, sometimes you have 2 commercials you have to go through for YouTube videos.
And the thing
like,
I don't like the fake out. I just don't like the fake out. So what they do is last time, right, there'll be a countdown in the bottom right-hand corner on the YouTube one. It'll count down 5 seconds. And then, after it counts down to 0, you can press the skip after that.
Right.
Which is what I'm waiting to do. and, and then it'll count down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And then, pop, it switches to another commercial. Yeah. There was no option for you to skip. So I'm like, hey, false representation, man.
But YouTube, it's free. Right, you're not paying for that service, so sometimes you just have to bear it and just accept it.
Cursor is hovering over the skip button. Dr. Daniel Chang is back on the show, Senior Lecturer Marketing Program, School of Business, Singapore University of Social Sciences. Hi, Dr. Chang.
Hello, hi. Thanks for having me again.
Are these subscription services that feature ads gonna be something that we have to get used to? I just want to get your top of mind opinion first. Going forward, is that going to become the reality? Because we were around for the birth of Netflix, okay? And the idea was ad-free, watch anything, anytime you want. And that kickstarted this whole streaming generation off. And then now it's like, everything is doubling back and going back. Might as well watch TV, right? Dr. Chang, what do you think?
You're scaring him.
I'm scared, Dr. Chang.
Yes, I think the problem is that these businesses are facing escalating costs. So they need to cover the cost somehow. So either they need to increase the price or they can cover it by having advertiser or marketers. So that's why they are giving a lot of these businesses are giving consumers choices to see whether you want. This is basically a tiered pricing. So you can sometimes have it completely free, for example, YouTube, or you have a completely ad-free choice, which is the most expensive. Sometimes they also offer something in between, meaning that, okay, you have some ad, but not so unbearable, but then you enjoy a discounted price.
Okay, so this is not another way for the streaming platforms to line their pockets and make more money from yet another source. I think it's got to be that for sure.
Yeah.
I think so, especially the streaming business. There are many types of streaming business. So if you look at Netflix and also Spotify, these businesses, they also support artists, right? So they also support original productions. So the cost needs to be covered in some way.
Yeah, but they're also gaining a lot of subscribers as well. It's to me, economies of scale, right? If you're getting more subscribers, then the cost should also come down, and they're making money. They're not losing money.
Oh,
so how come?
But it's plateauing actually. There are earlier reports in the
for Disney,
year,
but
Disney,
not Netflix.
But not Netflix. Netflix is growing.
Yeah, seen gains.
Yes, but I think from the business point of view, pricing is actually a very complicated issue and also strategy as well. It also relates to business diversity. So if you don't have marketers or advertisers, it means that your whole kind of revenue comes from the consumers, right? But from a business point of view, usually it's always good to diversify their business. Like I can have some revenue here, I can have some revenue in other channels, so they probably can complement with each other. So if I lose consumers, I probably can get the cost covered from, for example, advertising.
I can understand what you're saying about added cost when you're talking about some of the big streamers. Your Netflix, your Disney, what they're also doing is they're also producing their own content. They're funding and bankrolling their own shows that they are then putting on the platforms in order to stay competitive. But this most recent example of StarHub TV Plus, I think it became a little bit of an issue for people because, StarHub isn't producing its own content. It is merely hosting online in this StarHub app all the shows that they are broadcasting terrestrially on their cable channels as well. Granted, I'm sure there's cost in terms of, getting the streaming rights and things like that. But when you're not producing your own content, should you be charging for advertising?
I think first, it's usually the cost also goes up anyway. And also they probably face pressure from investors that they need to make the numbers look better. And they probably also have, the concerns that I talk about the business diversity as well. So, and also we also face a very competitive market. There's also inflation. So you can't actually, if the cost is there, they need to cover it. But under the current market, consumers probably become more price sensitive at the moment. And also consumers have a lot of choices. If you increase the price too much, then they probably switch to other services. So that's why they are actually also kind of testing to see whether there's an alternative. For example, I get some extra revenue from marketers, and they hope that consumers wouldn't mind so much.
Yeah, I think for some of these streaming platforms, they're quite smart as well. They've already done their math. They know some people may not like it. They will move away or just not partake in any of these streaming platforms. But the majority of us still hang on, and we will have to just bite the bullet and just say, you know what, they're changing the goalposts, but we just have to bear it if we want to watch the shows we want to watch.
Yes, that's actually a very common strategy, businesses usually adopt. They give you a very attractive introductory prices to lure you to their services. And once you get used to it, for consumers, there's always this kinds of inertia or laziness, I hate getting charged more, but I also hate switching to another supplier.
Yeah, you can't say you're too lazy to cancel. You cannot. The ball's in your court though, right?
Yeah, but most people say, I'll grumble about it, but I'll just
stick with it. I cancel.
Well, you did not.
I do.
Really?
I'm one of those people. And I know a lot of people that do this as well. I cancel and resubscribe regularly.
Oh, do you really?
So if a new show comes on that I want to watch, I'll subscribe for that month. I'll binge, and I cancel.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I'm done. I'll stick to one or two mainstreamers that I like, and then the others I dip in and dip out.
Prof, are you like that at all? Are you like Daniel?
To be honest,
I'm not like that. I'm just like, I'll grumble. Yeah, I'll just grumble and I'll just say, okay, I'll just have to pay more, or I'll just have to sit through these commercials. How about you?
To be honest, I don't do it for example, Netflix, but I do it for some other services. For example, Canva. Like if you have a lot of projects going on, like the design work, I subscribe for the month, and then I cancel it. So actually, I do it as well, and that actually shows. Actually, that's a lot of what a lot of consumers are doing. Basically, the businesses, because they frequently change their kind of prices, they are training the consumers to be to be more smart. Like you have to be really understand how to save money for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think AI is going to change things? Are we going to see more AI targeted ads take over rather than what we're seeing now with the regular ad that you skip?
I think AI is definitely going to really transform the industry. Not necessarily AI generated ads, but AI will help with better, more precise predictions. So it's like the ads can be more targeted so that they probably can not be so annoying to some people who really actually don't need those ads, but maybe they can also kind of really show the ads to people who really want to see this type of services.
Yeah. Dr. Chang, a pleasure. Always good to talk to you on the show. Dr. Diana Chang, Senior Lecturer, Marketing Program, School of Business, Singapore University of Social Sciences.
Take the scenic route.